let's go. I like that. I like how you're grooving. So far, everybody's been grooving.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
I made this little beat, and I didn't make it for the show, but I ended up using it for the show. So this is the third episode of Roddy Radio, a subsidiary of Roddy TV, which is a podcast stemming from everybody wanting to listen to me speak in English. I'm bad at English because English is my second language, and so. But we do what we can, and today I'm, my heart's very content today because, I have 3 biological brothers, but life gives you brothers along the way also. And today I have one of my brothers here, someone I know and I've known for, 30-something years now.
Yeah, first grade.
Definitely a brother, he's from the neighborhood, so he's technically Mexican. I was the best man in his wedding. That's how close we are. And if I had told anybody that I was getting married, he probably would have been the best man at my wedding. But I didn't tell anyone. So, and now we're divorced. So that's all good too. But his name's Ryan Raymond. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's been a minute since I've hung out with you, actually.
It has been a minute.
It's one of those sad realities of being an adult.
Agreed.
It's the worst. Especially you have 10 kids.
Yeah, 10, 12, 13.
Like 3 pairs of twins and shit?
Yeah, a gaggle of twins.
A gaggle. And a litter of singles also.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, we met when I was when I first moved to Roberts, Idaho, back when I was 6 years old, and I was the scrawny Mexican kid. Yeah, I don't know about that mic clip. It might be in there backwards. I don't know what the fuck. But I moved to Roberts, and I was that scrawny Mexican kid with the big ass welfare glasses that everybody picked on,
and a mustache.
Yes, on the mustache.
First grade mustache.
And you were definitely one of the few people that did not pick on me. So, I later reinvented myself and became the bully. And and you started defending the other kids from me instead. So
we may have seen our differences a little bit.
But we had a lot of similarities in some of those. Remember that kid in gym class? What was his name? Fuller?
Oh, yeah.
Smash Fuller.
Those poor kids.
Yeah. There's the worst things that we could talk about in gym class. I'm not even going to go there, actually.
I'm not trying to get canceled today, so.
And something, I just wrote something down that I thought about today. Because I believe I've said it before on Alta Red on the Spanish podcast, and I've said it other places, and nobody ever believes me, so maybe you can vouch for me. Everybody's into record collecting, or as the kids call it, vinyl collecting. I started that shit.
It is 1,000% true.
Nobody collected those.
No. We all made fun of Rodrigo for that.
And now it's a thing, and they call it vinyl collecting, but they're records.
We used to go and do that little back room at your mom's house and scratch all your records on a record player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still scratch, but I have an actual DJ turntable now. But yeah, back then just on the stereo. Yeah. Yeah, those were the days, and actually I was thinking about doing some scratching on that little beat that I made.
Yeah,
because we're hip hop as fuck like that.
You can add that later.
Yeah. No, yeah, but it's something I wanted to start with, just kind of get us going, get a little things going. Here was a little word association thing. This just came to me earlier today. I'm going to give you a couple words and then we can just go off on it. See, you don't have to say one word. Because they play that game and you just say one word, first word that comes to your mind. Yeah. That'd be stupid if you just said one word.
Yeah. So I get panicky.
So we'll just see what you remember about stuff. Let's start with Tommy James and the Shondells.
Oh, man. Crimson and Clover. I was just listening to that song the other day because my wife has no idea who it was.
Oh, really?
And the song Moni Moni?
Yeah.
Came on the radio. But it wasn't Tommy James and the Shondells.
Joan Jett, was it? No, Joan Jett did another one, and Moni I think was Billy Idol, maybe.
Maybe. And then I have to educate my kids because I'm in that phase of my life, where I'm back in my day. So we had to listen to Tommy James and Shondells the whole way to Roberts, ironically.
Really?
And that's ironic because that used to be what we listened to on the way home from Idaho Falls. Back to our houses in Roberts.
Yeah, and every morning on the way to school and stuff.
Yeah.
There was just earlier this summer the I-15 was closed. Not closed, but there was a big old inconvenience. So I was taking Bassett to work, and I would drive past where where you turn into your old house there, and I was like, God, man, that just shit would flood back memories. Like
yeah.
your folks still live out on that side?
Yep, still live at the same house.
I'm gonna stop by one day.
You should. It's not like you've changed. They'd know exactly who you were.
Shit. No, but yeah, that's what we would listen to. A lot of Tommy James and the Shondells, and a lot of oldies and stuff. And I don't know where along the way. I think we always listened to like metal and started getting into punk rock and hardcore and stuff. But for whatever weird reason, we still just listened to like oldies.
Yeah, it was weird. And Tommy James, the Shondells, and whenever we'd hang out in Idle Falls at night and come home, we listened to Time After Time.
Oh, that's right.
I don't even know who sang that song.
So that's the Cyndi Lauper song. And
yeah.
And you had the puke version.
Yeah. And Nicole would get so mad.
How'd that
go? I forgot about that shit.
Nicole, that's someone I haven't talked to in a long time. I talk to Sean every once in a while.
Do you? Man, I haven't talked to him literally since your kids' baptism.
Oh, really? And that was fucking 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I text him. I don't like talk.
He doesn't text back though.
Yeah. It's really one-sided. The thing is, he's one of those green bubbles. Because, everybody's worried about the red flags in relationships. Oh, yeah, but you should really worry about the green text bubbles. Isn't yours? You got an iPhone, don't you?
No.
Oh, fuck.
All right, well, I'm out.
I lost your phone number for a minute, is the thing. That's what it's because I switched. I got this iPhone 6 as my new phone.
Your iPhone 6 is your new phone?
Yes. I had an iPhone 7 for a minute.
Oh.
But it was only 32 gigs.
Yeah.
So it kept getting filled.
So you went back a generation to get it bigger?
And, so my brother sent me this phone from, he lives in Minnesota now. And
which brother?
My oldest brother, Claudio.
Oh, really? And
look at the time on this. 5:49.
Weird. It's written in a sundial because it's fucking old.
It's all weird. I don't know what this phone does to me. It's fucked me over before, too. I was going to go to yoga.
Yeah.
And I had to download like this app. And this girl had invited me to yoga. And so I did.
That sounds like a story in itself, but I guess we can just brush past it.
And so I downloaded the stupid app, and you have to like sign up for the class.
Yeah.
And it said it was at 7. And so I show up at 7. And it's like, get there, like, we open the doors 15 minutes before the time. Like, after that, they're locked, so make sure you get there. So I, like, got there on time. Got there, like, 15 to 7, and the doors were locked. And I'm, like, texting her, and, like, she wasn't answering and shit. And so I was like, fuck this. And I just went home. And then, like, an hour later, she's like, hey, where you at? And I was like, it was at 7, wasn't it? She said, no, it's at 8. And I'm like, well, this damn phone with the fucked up clock. And I had to send her the screenshot. I'm like, look, it says it was at 7. She's like, no, it's at 8. I was like, well, I'm already home. Man.
I'm pretty sure Apple discontinued support for that phone in like the 90s. Must have.
Isn't that weird though? Like, one thing is the clock being messed up, but where it affects the appointments on an app.
That's weird.
Really fucking weird. And so to this day, I still can't do the yoga fire thing like in Street Fighter. And I blame it on his damn phone.
You should try getting a new one.
It's expensive.
It is. They are stupid.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Do you have T-Mobile?
Verizon.
Oh no! So Oscar was just here. He said, "I get people mixed up like that. Like if I talk to one person, then the next."
Yeah.
I'm like,
but you blend the details.
I'm like, you just said you were with T-Mobile, but no, Oscar was here like 10 minutes before you got here, and he said he was my friend Oscar Reyes. He's on Not That Other lot. If you watch the show, you would know him.
I probably wouldn't because I bet he speaks Spanish and I don't.
I think you might know him. He worked for me at DeMarco's. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's when I was friends with him, like when I was like first friends with him.
I don't remember anyone from DeMarco's except for Maria.
Larissa. Oh, Maria.
Maria.
Yeah, she was quite the little slut.
She was weird.
Yeah.
Who's Larissa?
Larissa, she was that blonde girl.
I do remember Larissa.
She was really cool, and like everybody thought she was like this nice little Mormon girl, and she was.
Yeah.
But then she would sit around and make a diagram on a piece of paper where she would try to get every one of us that worked at the store, including the old people, to be having sex at the same time. Like whose dick would go into whose ass or pussy or mouth.
Weird.
And that way, like, and it was just a way to pass the time. She was super cool.
Huh.
Then she got married, and she wasn't
as cool.
She like cut me off of all the.
Big surprise.
From all the social media, which I'm like, we were weird, but it's not like we never hooked up or anything.
None of the diagram ever took place.
Yeah. But I mean, we were very, we didn't give a shit. Like I would change clothes. Like I'd want to try clothes on, including pants. And so I would just change clothes right there at the register. There was no one ever in the store.
Never
anyway.
in DeMarco's.
So I would just sit there and change clothes.
That's why it was so easy to go hang out in.
It was the best.
That
was the best job.
That was good.
Especially once that one guy got fired and I got to be the manager.
Yeah.
That was the best. And that's when I hired Oscar. I was like, you want a job?
You get to just try on clothes behind the register all day.
And then Larissa and Oscar were always like, when are you going to work a Sunday? And I was like, oh, it's coming. And it never came.
You're like, I'm Christian, so.
Shit. I always liked working Saturdays.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next word association, actually. It blends in perfectly. Robert's Market.
Robert's Market. That was my first job.
Was it your first job?
Yeah. Brolam's. It was Brolam's before Robert's Market.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun at that job.
That was fun.
Yeah. I worked there for a long time, actually.
Did you? I think you worked there longer than I did. Or not longer, but like after I did.
Yeah, after. Because you worked there longer than I did because you started before I did.
Yeah.
But remember Steve was the manager?
Yes.
And every night he'd put up his 24 rack of Keystone Light and he'd turn around to get jerky and we'd shake the piss out of the 24 pack. And then you see him drive out the lot and beer just shits out of every window because he tried to open one on the way home.
Steve with his big purple nose.
Yeah, big old alky nose.
Oh, man. And then he would blow his nose into those paper towels that absorbed nothing. It would just drip. It was like a funnel.
I think that was his body's way of trying to get rid of the excess Keystone Light.
Yeah,
it would just run out of his nose all day.
He's super cool, dude. You know why he was an alcoholic? It was because he was a Vietnam vet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he didn't talk much.
My brother did had to do a report on Vietnam, and he interviewed Steve. It was pretty cool. I wonder if he still has that. And he showed us a bunch of pictures. Like he's sitting there. He looked exactly like he did as an old man. Just like
really smaller nose.
Yeah, just smaller body, like this tiny body and the same big nose. And he had like this giant gun on him, and he's out in the middle of Vietnam.
I had no idea.
That was pretty
I wonder whatever happened to Steve.
Oh, he's maybe a year or two ago. He added me on Facebook. He's super old looking now. Like,
well, he was super old looking then.
He looks like he kind of looks the same. He just looks bigger. Like he looks kind of swelled up.
Oh, I see.
Probably because of the alcohol.
What is he, like 90?
He's got to be old. I mean, he went to Nam.
Yeah, he was old when I worked for him.
Yeah. And so that's what I was remembering. I was like, I used to really love working Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And then get out of there and then have the rest of and then we close Sundays. So.
And then after Steve, the guy's name was Alan.
I never got to work with Alan.
My first impression of Alan is we were cutting open dairy boxes in the dairy cooler, and he had a box cutter knife,
Yeah.
And the box was sitting right in front of him, and he ran it towards him through the tape, right up his thigh, almost to his belly. It was like a 7-inch laceration that went like a half-inch deep through his leg. And I was like, wow, I don't trust this guy at all.
Had he never worked at a store before?
I guess he worked in the Roberts Brohms forever. I mean, the Rigby Brohms, not Roberts Brohms, Rigby Brohms.
I wonder what he did up there.
I don't know. Knock out boxes, I can tell you that.
That was like the only thing we did at the store.
Remember, we had that big Sunbelt granola bar display.
Oh, yeah.
But it was upstairs on the freezer, so we'd just climb up there and eat granola bars. Or drink the beer that had been broke open.
I would always,
accident.
on Monday mornings, I would go help with freight, early in the morning, before school, at 4 or 5 in the morning, and I would always accidentally drop a bunch of beer.
Yeah,
that's when I discovered Coors Light is just no good.
Wasn't it? There was one that was always broke up. It was ham,
like green with the white letters.
I think so. Yeah,
something like that.
Well, I just drank whatever broke open.
Yeah. That's how I found out Coors Light was terrible because I was like,
especially when it's all warm coming off the truck.
Did you ever jack off up there too in the loft area? Yeah, me neither.
No. Leona was cute though.
I was more of a.
Don't say it.
What was her name? The other old lady.
Oh, Leona and.
Loretta,
the two most old lady names.
Yeah,
And
then Loretta had the thing going. She gave like a country vibe. She had the big hair.
She did.
She was definitely kind of hot. She'd go outside and smoke and just chill out.
Yeah, you could tell she was a smoker. She was like 35 then. Looked like she was 104. Leona Leona was the best whistler I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
She had like the perfect vibrato. She just whistle while she was straightening the
that's
boxes.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
She's like 100 years old now.
Yeah.
And
she still works.
Yeah, they celebrated that she was in the news.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, this was already like a year or two ago.
Yep.
So
you know who
like,
doesn't work there anymore?
Who?
Linda Cooley.
Oh yeah, she doesn't. Oh, she did croak. Huh?
She did.
I did. Yeah, that was fairly recent. A year.
Yeah,
or two
like
ago?
a year or two ago. Last year, actually.
Yeah. Well. Tired. I wish I could. Wish I could say more than that. Her son was on the sex offender list.
Cheo?
The other one, the older one.
Oh, I didn't know there was an older one.
Cheo never got caught.
So that's because he always looked like a child. So Cheo went into the military and he was stationed in Italy. And my friend Quentin's wife was in Italy. And that's how she got here to the States. Is she married Cheo, came to the States, moved into that shithole little trailer in Roberts. And she said she'd been in like the big city Italy, wherever it was, forever. And then she moved to like Podunk fucking Roberts, where there was mice in the couches she was sleeping on. And it was like a culture shock. So they divorced, and now she's married to my friend Quentin.
Oh, that's a good way to get a ticket.
It was a glow up.
Yeah. And I'm sure, and I mean, he's got to count his blessings. You know, he got to hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it.
Being 4 foot tall.
Wait, and walking around like he's a foot soldier in the Ninja Turtles or some shit. There's a lot of weird people in our town. I mean, I love our town to the death. You know,
Me too.
I love Roberts, but some of the people there are amazing.
And some of them are not.
No, yeah, I love that job though. I would always drink Rockstars. Saturdays, I would always grab a piece of the chicken that we would make.
Oh, the chicken was so good. Rotisserie chicken.
And we would make the drumstick and thigh package.
Yeah.
And I'd grab one of those and a Rockstar. That was fucking.
You know, they still do those at Ridley's in Blackfoot.
In Blackfoot.
That same exact seasoning and rotisserie style.
That's where. No, never mind. I was gonna say that's where Steve's worked afterward, but never mind. He worked at Kessler's in Blackfoot.
Oh.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, no, Kessler's.
Okay,
because Kessler's is the smaller one, right?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Ridley's is like a bigger one. Yeah,
maybe he stole the recipe.
Maybe it's his recipe. He's been around since the 60s.
He learned it in Nam.
Yeah, before they had chickens even.
He knows what came first. All right. Well, here's another one. I don't know why I put this on here, just because I think it's something good to ask someone like you, because you've claimed to be white, but you're really not. Racism. Racism
is weird for me because
you're a Jap.
I am a quarter Japanese. You wouldn't tell it by looking at me, or my mom, who's half Japanese. Yeah. She looks like a little Mexican. Why are there so
many Japanese people in Roberts?
Are there?
In the Kayas and all those?
Well, I think there's like 3, but the ratio though.
That's 3 out of 10. That's 30%, man. No, because I went to the museum there in Rigby.
Yeah.
The TV museum, but it's like the Jefferson County Museum. And I was like looking, and there's like a bunch of news articles about like Japanese immigrants, a lot in the Kayas and like different Japanese names.
I wonder if it has a lot to do with, speaking of racism, although like prisoners of war, Japanese internments and stuff like that.
Maybe
in northern Idaho.
Maybe they were working on the railroad too, as well, I guess.
Working. So, racism.
After we went off on the Japs.
Yeah. So, lots of different, like, I was white, obviously, but I grew up in the center of town. And so none of the other white kids did that. It was only poor white people on the inside. Okay, so Mexicans and poor white people on the inside, and then all the rich Mormons on the outside.
And on the farms.
Yeah,
exactly. Those really nice farmhouses.
And so even though I was white, all my best friends were all Hispanic.
Because you used to live right by the school, huh?
Yeah, across the street on that corner.
I just barely remember it now.
Yep. And then when I was in like the 4th grade, we moved out to where my parents live now. We were like part of the rich white, but we weren't rich. We still lived in a trailer, whatever.
Yeah. It's a nice trailer.
And then like my other good friend growing up was Eddie, who was black.
He's like the only black kid in Roberts.
And in Rigby.
The first 30 years, yeah.
Yeah. He was not, his family was not well liked. So it was weird. Like when me and Eddie were older, like junior high school, we'd go to, he moved to Idaho Falls and he lived off the Skyline. And we would go to the Rite Aid when it was still there.
I remember that house.
Yeah. And well, we would go in there and we would, we had like $5 buy candy or whatever we were buying, and every time we'd get stopped at the door by a manager and they'd be like, empty out your pockets.
You guys Eddie got caught stealing?
Never once. Yeah. Not once. So I'd go to start emptying my pockets and he's like, not you get out.
He's straight up like that?
Yeah.
Did you ever steal anything?
Did not give a shit. No, I should have.
Like the third time in, I would have been like, let's do a little social experiment.
Pack my jacket here.
Make it super obvious.
You're literally. And
then
then,
put a summer sausage down your pants so it looks like a big old wiener.
One time me and Eddie got pulled over with his cousin Danny, or Uncle Danny.
Yeah.
And we had been drinking. We were underage. Danny was, I think he was high, and he had weed on him. We got pulled over, and we got pulled out of the car, and it was fucking cold. And we were in like shorts. We just went to Rigby to the gas station to get prime times. And
those were the days.
Those were the days. We got pulled out of the car, and then it was cold, so the cop let me and Danny sit back in the car. Not Eddie, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they put him through the ringer. It was so fucking stupid. It's like small town politics shit, But
and that's what it was. And I've told this story on other shows before too, because it comes up where like, oh yeah, in high school, like I remember like by the time we got to high school and people would be like, how come you only hang out with a bunch of white kids? I'm like, I hang out with the same kids I've hung out since first grade.
Literally.
I'm like with Ryan, with like Randy, and Sean's like a newer addition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the thing is, the Mexican kids I hung out with, they're already at the alternative school. I was like, if they were here, I'd hang out with them, but they're not here. So.
That's what I was telling everybody too. Like my wife will ask about it, and she's like, "Did you have a lot of friends in high school?" I was like, honestly, most of my friends had already dropped out by the time Rodrigo and I got to high school.
It was pretty much
just us.
By the end, it was just me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like other people would try to get a ride with us, and we'd be like, oh,
yeah. Remember that girl that always pick her dog hair off with tape in the back, and we'd all be gritting our teeth, white knuckle.
And I didn't mind giving her a ride because I was hoping she would give me a head.
Yeah.
And but then she started like she's like, oh, my little brother missed the bus. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, give him
a ride. Can you give my mom a ride to AA?
And then we used to pick up your cousin too, who lived next
Katricia.
To you. And remember, I hit her in the head with the face with the guitar. We had the guitar, and I'm like, put this in the back window, please. Smack, just fucking hit her.
Poor Katricia.
She was a champ though.
She was a champ.
I remember she was asking if pubic hair grew all the way up to the cock.
That's weird.
We were like, yeah, like your cocks are just big furry.
No, there's like a separation.
It's like I have hair all the way up to my hole. I wonder if she remembers that. What's she doing? She's probably got like a family and shit.
She's got, I think last I heard, I don't talk to her very often, but last I heard she had one small child. She was married. She lives somewhere here in town.
Okay.
But
she was a couple of years younger than us.
Yeah, she was 3 years younger than me, 2 years in school.
Isn't it funny that like those people like to us, she was a little kid, but she's your cousin, so we'd let her like, we'd give her a ride.
Right, yeah.
But like she felt like, oh, she's such a little kid. But like now it's like she's in her 30s. She probably looks older than neither of us.
Yeah, probably. Because she was full white, so I got a quarter Asian, so I'm not aging as much. You do still
look rather youthful. Actually.
Thank you.
I think both of us do. We look about the same as we did.
I agree.
In high school.
Maybe 1 or 2 more pounds on my side.
Yeah, same. That's the thing that I was thinking about today, because I was thinking about stuff to talk about with you today, and I was thinking about like how like we used to always, all we did in school, like I don't remember learning much, but all you and I did in school was like make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like we always made fun of like Fat Mark and Destry and like all the fat kids.
Oh, now it's karma catching
and
back
I'm
up.
like, no, I'm just a fat old man. I'm like, that's what the fuck I get for making fun of all those fat kids.
Yep, that's
Jesus
karma hardcore.
And they're probably fit, and they got fit because we were making fun of them.
Agreed.
They're like,
we helped them.
Yeah,
if they would have made fun of us back, they probably wouldn't have changed anything, but good for them anyway.
At least you stopped drinking.
It's true. I always tell people that you and I weren't bullies because we treated everybody like hot garbage.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have a specific group that we.
Yeah, I have a friend who said that about me once too. She's like, I think it's great how you treat everyone like shit, but everyone wants to hang out with you anyway.
Yeah, like, exactly.
I don't get it, but
you just gotta treat everybody equal. You can't choose favorites.
Yeah, man, those were the days, especially like junior year, senior year. I feel everybody loves their senior year. I was like, nobody was there anymore. It was kind of...
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah.
But junior year is like we had friends that were seniors and friends that were sophomores and our friends in our grade. And it was just,
agreed.
And we would sit outside with the guitar singing about everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'd make up songs. Yeah. Remember that little Hawaiian girl?
Oh, I was so in love with her.
Lilu?
That you're thinking about the movie. She looked like Lilo.
That's what we called her, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but her name was Dana because I wrote the song Dana. I wrote that with you. You wrote the music and I wrote the lyrics, and we would sing it to her.
That's right.
And it was the most awkward thing
and
ever.
I'm surprised we didn't get like a police order to stop.
We couldn't get away with shit like that these days.
No.
I harassed that little lady way too much. The thing was, I was genuinely attracted to her, but instead of like asking her out like a normal person, I was like, well, let's just pester her with this guitar.
Because that's flirting in 2004. She was teeny. She was like Cheo sized.
She was from the islands.
Was her sister a surfer?
She had a pet that looked like a koala. No, but she was, and you know, sometimes I've done things that I'm not proud of.
Why a koala?
I don't know.
Koalas don't live on Hawaiian Islands. Why did he?
Well, I've never seen the movie.
All right. Anyway, next subject.
You
know, I've never seen the movie.
Why?
Because the introduction to the movie is Elvis Presley.
Oh fuck!
I'm fucking out. Checking out right now.
We always hated that. Elvis.
Yeah, I don't like Elvis at all.
I just don't like that he doesn't enunciate my whole thing with the
he sounds like he's in a drunken slobber all the time.
Probably was.
Oh goddamn.
No, but I creeped on her on Facebook. I found her. I don't even know why. I didn't look for her. I think she came up as like people you may know, and I was like, that's that one chick. Dude. Oh god, man, she got. And I'm talking, this was like 10 years ago.
Wait. She got what?
She got banging as fuck.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I always thought she was cute.
She was cute.
But then she was like, there was like pictures of her on a beach in Hawaii, probably, because she's from the islands. And she's like, so she's in a bathing suit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And she had these big fat legs and this big fat ass on the little, 4'5" body.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And she was, and the tan, I really like that.
Mm-hmm. She was dark skinned anyway, huh?
Yeah. So
she had that islandy look.
Yeah, she's from the islands.
She was super LDS, I thought, though.
I thought that about everybody.
I assumed because they were from Rigby. All the people that we merged with at Midway Middle School, those are the LDS. Yeah,
those are the Mormon kids.
Yeah. Remember we used to fight like all the Mormon kids in 7th grade, and it was like all the kids from Roberts and then all the kids from Rigby, and we never even fight them. Everyone would just like get in each other's faces and stare. Like
it looked like the beginning of the Rumble in Outsiders, but never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Roy was always at Danny was always out at the front, like giving his shitty like resting bitch face look. You know, that dude is super intimidating.
Yeah, he was in the news a few years ago because he was outside the gas station in Roberts, like telling people he was going to stab him.
Nothing's changed. I always liked him.
He's the best, man.
Is he still around?
Yeah, I ran into him a couple of years ago at the bar at the Crown.
What do you like? Out of all the people that we grew up with, do you keep track of all of them? Any of them? Antonio.
Kind of. I've seen him a bit. Pretty much, if they're not on social media, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I don't see any of them on social media.
And that's what when I came here with Mia the other day. She was asking me, she's like, who's your best friend like when you were a kid? I was like, Bird and shit. I was like, do you know him? She's like, yeah. I was like, but honestly, I'm like, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. I haven't seen him since high school.
Yeah. I've seen him here and there, but
I keep track of literally Salvador.
Really?
Because he's on social media.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've had a weird like reconnection within the last year. Like he's one of my meme friends all the time. Like, every day on Instagram. And
I was like Salvador.
Remember when his brother punched you in the face?
Yeah.
I always felt bad. Like I felt like I should have jumped in, but I'm like, but
that's what Tiny said too.
I'm like, but you did say like whatever it was you said about his sister, which is what he was defending. He was defending his sister for whatever.
So what happened was we were on the bus and I was talking to I think the Jonas Carr Lindsay. And
he's coming in here in a bit too. He just texted me. I'm just kidding.
Laura she was sitting behind me and she was like asking me for a piece of gum or something. And I was trying to hold a conversation with somebody else and she just kept going, hey, I need gum. Do you have gum? I need gum. And we were cool, me and Laura.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I was like, stop. And she like started getting all frisky. So I pretended like I was going to slap her.
Oh.
I like put my hand to her face real quick. And then at the last second I stopped and then just like tapped her with my fingers like that, you know?
Oh, that's what it was.
And then the next day I was in my locker and Fernando came up and was like, just slapped the shit out of me.
We all just watched it happen.
Yeah.
But we all knew why it was. I didn't remember, and I still don't really remember, but at the time I knew what had happened.
So the first time I think we got off the bus, he's like, hey, Ryan, can I talk to you? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Because me and Fernie were cool too, you know? And then I walked over to him and he slapped the shit out of me, like just once, just fucking nailed me. And he's like, don't ever lay your hands on my sister. And I was like, all right, I understand, you know, whatever. And then we all walked off awkwardly.
So she went and told him?
Yeah. That I don't know what she told him, actually. But yeah, I was just nailing her. But, and then the next day he came to my locker and that's when he punched me. He's like, hey, I just want to talk to you about what happened yesterday. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it, man. Thinking he was going to apologize. And he fucking punched me. And he's like, that's what I meant to do.
Yeah. Then the next day he came with a gun and he's like, I'm sorry what I did yesterday.
Hey,
this is
sorry
what I
for
meant
punching.
to do. And he shot you in the leg.
Ran me over. No, and you actually years later. So, because I didn't talk to him much after that, obviously. Yeah. Years later, he actually saved me. Do you remember my cousin Dallas?
Yeah.
So we were like street racing, doing dumb shit on 17th Street.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. Huh? And these kids were chasing us, and we slid around a corner at the Edwards parking lot, and when we hit the curb with his back tire, and it just fucking crinkled the axle. And so we limped it over to a parking lot, and these dudes that were chasing us stopped, and they pulled out a knife and was just fucking yelling like, I'm gonna kill all you guys, blah blah blah. And Fernando, Jose, and Salvador, and I think Tio pulled up in Salvador's Mustang, was like, hey, what the fuck's going on here, you guys? And we're telling them, and those guys fucking bailed. So he really probably saved my ass that day.
That's crazy.
So I was like, man, he made up for it. Yeah.
That was the thing about him, though. And we're talking past tense because he's passed on as well.
Yep.
And so rest in peace to him. But he was always like my rival. Like we would always get into arguments and fights ever since we were little kids.
Yeah.
And well into like adulthood, we would like fight about shit.
Yeah.
But like that was kind of the cool thing about our neighborhood, I think, is like we could have like our little rivalries in the neighborhood. But like once we got out of there, like he was always down. Yeah. He was always down to help me out. Like he was always on my side. He always had my back.
So even like it later on when we'd fight all the white Mormon kids all the time.
Yeah.
Like all the Roberts guys didn't really get along with the Rigby guys, like they're 18-13 kind of thing, you know. Yeah. But then when we were fighting all the white kids, suddenly we were all homies.
We were all yeah. That's the way it was. And I wonder if it's still like that, because it's like what we were saying right now about how you and I would have gotten sent to fucking juvenile detention for all the shit we did.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what that's like right now.
I don't know.
Because like I went to an event, like they invited us for the podcast, and it was this kid's senior project, and it was just this big event, like multicultural event, and like all the Mexican kids were on the stage dancing and singing and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what kind of backwards ass shit is this? So I think there's been quite the evolution with the Mexican kids and everybody just being more inclusive. And
yeah, I think a lot of people grew up. A lot of people that we grew up had kids, and they were like, I don't want my kids' childhood to be. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like,
yeah, and you like to do the shit that I wanted to do that shit, but I was too embarrassed or whatever.
Yeah,
fucking do it.
Yeah, like my daughter, my middle daughter, she's 9. She loves hardcore music.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, hardcore's treated me pretty good. Like the whole hardcore scene, being straight edge and shit. I don't want my child to be into hardcore. Cause it was fucking violent. And we got into it like back then again, we would roll up and bat people's knees in and shit like that. And no one ever called cops.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was such a different time.
Yeah, and it wasn't like there was no grudges. There was never any guns. We saw guns maybe. I had guns pulled on us like 3 times maybe. But it was like once it was done, it was done. And now it's so like grudgy, you know, like you beat someone up today and 2 years later, they're going to blow your car up while you're in it kind of shit, you know, really? Just dumb things, kids trying to prove themselves. So I don't know. I don't want my kids being into hardcore.
What do you want her to be in then? Like
Mormon, the rich Mormons that lived around the outside of the town.
Hey, you don't live in the center of the city anymore, do you?
No, I live on the outside of town now.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Holy shit.
Yeah, no,
We're moving on up.
Moving on up to the East Side,
East
literally.
Side, actually. Holy
Yes.
shit, it works out. No, but that's it reminds me of like what was that fucking movie called with Channing Tatum and the cop one?
Oh yeah,
21 Jump
21
Street.
Jump Street.
Like that's how I feel right now when I see high school kids.
Yeah,
I'm like, everything's so backwards. Like that has the scene. Do you remember Justin Herrick?
Justin Herrick.
He's really this real skinny kid, and he was Tiffany's cousin.
Oh,
and
I do. I do.
Every other joke we made about him was about him being gay. And it was like and to this day
I never had any part in that.
I consider him a good friend.
Yeah.
And so then after high school, he came out of the closet, and I felt so bad. And like I hit him up, and I was like, dude.
Maybe we strayed his future.
No, he was gay all along, and I hit him up, and I was like, dude, if I'd have known you were gay,
I would have made fun of you for being straight.
And so kind of ever since then, I avoid like making fun of people for being gay.
Yeah.
There was another instance where we accidentally outed a kid at work. This other kid, a friend of ours, left his computer open. And so we went to his email and emailed this other kid, and we were like, "Hey, Travis, like, I want your cock or some shit."
Oh no!
And so then, like, he comes back from break, and then we see the email that he replies back. He's like, "Oh, Doug, don't tease me." He's like, "You're one of the few people that here that know I'm gay, so don't be teasing me like that." And we were like,
"Oh no!"
And so Doug gets back from break, and he sits down, and he like stands up. He's like, "Did you touch my computer?" I was like, "I'm sorry, man."
Oh no!
And he was like, he's like, well, Travis didn't want anyone to know. He's like, especially you. And I was like, what the fuck, especially me? What's the fuck's that supposed to mean? And he's like, well, he just thinks you'll make fun of him. And so I was like, no, I'm not like a homophobe.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so just ever since then, I try to avoid all like.
That's probably
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, I don't know. You don't want that shit coming back around to you anyway.
Yeah, especially.
I'm surprised that a lot of things that happened
haven't come
back around. Yeah.
I think we're getting to the statute of limitations on a lot of things.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Fortunately, man, Jesus Christ. Let's see. I have like one last one of those. Oh, this one's a good one. Ignition.
I was thinking about that today. I was thinking today, what's Rodrigo going to want to talk about on this podcast?
Yeah.
And Ignition popped into my head, and Georgie Lee popped into my head.
Yeah, that song's a classic.
And those were the good old days. Playing. There's not even a genre that fits.
No, it was hard back then. Because then, right now, I feel like we could have done something with that now.
I agree.
It's kind of the same thing what we're talking about. But back then, it was still like, wait, so are you fucking metal?
Yeah.
Or are you fucking punk? Like, you have to be.
And we had songs that like bridged all those.
Yeah.
Know? Like Georgie Lee
had that little funky breakdown.
Yeah,
in the
that's a straight punk song.
Yeah.
But then it was like real reggae for a second.
For a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then right back
play.
to like solid punk rock.
And then we played that with Big Zeke the Killdozer. And I never learned the little bridge because I didn't really know how to play back then.
Oh, yeah.
So I just like the little bridge part, the cool part that you guys would play.
Yeah.
We like invented that, like we would do like a cumbia beat or something else in between or like a reggaeton beat.
I was like, maybe that's what I remember that is.
No, but before there was like the funky little.
I don't remember.
And then I don't know, it was a different little scratch. And remember we didn't have I was a singer because I didn't really know how to play anything back then. And I didn't really know how to sing either.
But you don't have to buy an instrument to do that.
And we didn't have any pedals, and so that song would start with the clean guitar.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it sounded so bad.
Clack, 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 clack. And so then I was the pedal. I would turn the gain up on your amp as fast as I could.
I remember that. We played Randy's sister's wedding. And we covered "Killing in the Name of" by Rage Against the Machine. That was dope.
They didn't really like the "fuck you."
Yeah, no, it was going well until right about the end of the song, right there.
And then we had that really dark song that was like about killing yourself.
Time?
That one was cool too.
That was good.
A lot of those came out of the Randy's mom's poetry book from when she was in high school. But there was one even darker than that. It was called, and I think Randy wrote this one though. It was, it straight up said like my wife was killed. Like I got the news that my wife was killed, so then I wanted to kill myself. It was fucking wild.
Weird.
And we were practicing it, and I don't know who, like maybe Ray or maybe his mom or something was like, you guys are going to sing that at the wedding? And we're like, maybe we should. And we played it, but we changed the key. And then like I changed the lyrics to like positive shit. You don't remember that?
So, because I only played guitar. Did I play guitar for the whole time?
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, it was bass guitar that switched out.
Butch was the bassist and then Sean was the bassist.
Yeah. So they swapped back and forth. I was real drunk.
Oh, because we got there early and the bar was already set up,
Yep.
and we just kept taking like
they set up the bar and then left like the tap.
yeah, the
and
tap.
so I just
and
kept
so we just kept
filling
putting
my
the
bottle.
Tap. I just kept filling my mouth.
Yeah,
we just kept squeezing the juice on that shit.
Yeah, I was real drunk. I don't remember a lot of that.
And just to point out, we were like 14, 15. It was...
Yeah. I all I remember is there was like a girl that we went to school with. I don't know her name or anything, and she kept asking me to dance at the wedding.
Why didn't you do
And
it?
I was so scared.
I kind of remember this.
Yeah,
we
and I
were
was
all
like,
like, yeah, we were like trying to get you to do it.
Yeah, and I'm not having it.
And you're like,
I was
no,
shy.
and you're like, no, I'm drunk.
No, I'm pissed drunk.
The cool thing about drinking when you're 13 and 14 is that you're not going to drink and drive.
Yeah,
because you
right,
don't know how to drive.
Right?
Like,
Sean drove us.
It was that like we got in the car and all of us had something in our jackets that we stole from the wedding.
Oh yeah, what did I have? I think I had the tap.
I think you did.
The handle of the
you took the
tap.
handle. I took a bunch of like really nice wine glasses.
Yeah, that's
and like,
right.
And Sean's like, "Oh my god, like, what
We
the
fucking
fuck?"
Robert's kids. We got in, just start emptying our pockets.
Oh, shit. That was the first time I ever played. Like, that was like
too.
the first gig in my life.
Yeah, me too.
Do you still play?
No, I play while Amanda and I are talking. Because my guitar hangs on my wall. You know, she'll be talking about something because she's a board member of the HSUV, Humane Society of the Upper Valley. So she does a lot with like helping save cats, dogs, whatever. So she'll be talking to me about that, and I'll grab the guitar off my wall and just play like random ass notes while she talks. It's just something to do with my hands.
Try to accentuate what she's saying, like, "Oh, the dog died," and you're like, wah, wah.
I don't, because I don't think she'd find that amusing that much. But it's just like something to do with my hands. I don't know what, but no, I don't really play at all.
Really, that sucks, man. You were always really good. I think you were one of the best guitar players I've ever met. Quite honestly,
doubt that, but
well, maybe not that I've met, but that I've played with.
Okay, I'll go with that. You know who took it? Freaking Randy.
He's an incredible musician.
He's good at everything.
I need to get. It was the older I get, the more people I'm like, I gotta bury the hatchet.
Gotta patch that up.
Yeah.
So he's having a kid at the end of the
I was gonna
next
say
month.
because I saw that he like has a kid and stuff, so he looks like he's doing well.
Yeah, no kid yet, but
He's still a virgin though.
yeah, I don't know how that worked exactly. Maybe there's some kind of religious cult going on, but
You were so mean to him growing up.
what do we call him?
Squinky.
Remember that one time the bus
I was
windows
just
were
gonna
all
say
fogged
that.
up?
We thought he was off the bus already.
Yeah.
He
So
usually got off earlier.
We're rubbing our hand in like the fogged up window and rubbing it on people's face and going,
rubbing it on each other.
yeah, going squinky's breath, squinky breath. And then
Yeah,
he
fucking
got up and got
Squinky's
off the
breath.
bus.
Oh,
And we were
yeah.
like, oh, fuck.
He was still here. He was right behind us the whole time, watching us tell everybody that they had his breath on.
He never said anything about that, though.
He never said anything about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I gotta patch things up because I can't be mad when I was. He should be mad.
Yeah, the tables are kind of turned on that one. Real off balance.
So if he's hearing this,
Sorry.
we should get together and
Maybe
maybe not get together, but like,
post like high school and stuff.
yeah,
He was like one of my best friends.
yeah, you guys were real tight.
Yeah, we got in a house together here in Idaho Falls.
And then he was straight edge, or maybe
And
probably
he
still
is. Yeah, I think so. And then like for a little bit he was in a band called Adalast.
I remember that.
Yeah, but he still lived here, but the band was in South Jordan or Murray, I think. And so we would drive down there once a week for practice. So we'd stay there from Thursday night, Friday, come home Saturday.
I went to a couple Adelaide shows. That was a good band.
They were good.
I have what is it? A guitar case and
I have that.
a guitar that I had.
I have that.
Do they have the stickers?
Yeah,
on them
the
still?
Adalast stickers, yeah.
Yeah. And the pink guitar I had it on too. So
Oh, okay. I have the red
I don't
one.
know where that one is.
Or black one?
The red one.
Red
You
one.
had the black one. You had the Iceman.
Yeah.
And then I got its sister one that was the Destroyer.
Destroyer, yep. My brother, I wanted that guitar so bad. My brother was working at Fresh Pack at the time, and he was still in high school too. And he saved up and bought that for me for my birthday. And then years later, after high school and whatever, I got an apartment with Dallas, my cousin, and I gave him the rent one day, and he was going to pay it. And then I came home from work, all of his shit was gone.
What the fuck?
So he just took the rent money and bailed.
That was your cousin.
Yeah, right. So I I sold that guitar to help pay rent.
Oh, that's the worst.
But that was a bummer. So then when I got that one from you,
it's pretty much the exact same guitar, just a little different
yeah,
shape.
really. I was like, I'm never losing.
Do you still like playing that though?
Yeah, I still play it from time to time.
Because the reason I let you have that was because you needed a guitar, but also because like I got so used to the Fender that I still play. My it's what is it? A lead one, a 1981 lead one. And then like I went back to play the Ibanez, and I was like, it felt uncomfortable to me.
Yeah,
like, the neck was like
they're
stiff
balanced weird too. Yeah, they're not ones like I have a hard time holding it with the strap unless it's like way up
those
here,
cool metal shapes always do that too.
Yeah,
and the lead has like almost like a Stratocaster shape, so it's super.
It's nice though. I anything I guess would be nice because the acoustic guitar that I do play is an Ibanez 12 string, and so whenever I'm playing guitar, I play that. And then if I go downstairs, I have like this little like a. I forget the brand, but it plugs into the guitar and then it just goes to headphones, you know? And it's like a little overdrive thing with batteries in it. That sounds like
something a married dude would have.
Yeah, exactly. And
so I just have an amp.
It's so easy to play.
Yeah.
After playing a 12 string for so many
Yeah, that's the thing.
years.
It's kind of like driving. I learned how to drive in that big Blazer we had. Then like everything after that seemed kind of easy.
That Blazer. Remember we used to spin cookies at the elementary school?
That Blazer was badass.
That Blazer was
I sold that car when my baby was going to be born.
Oh, really?
Money, yeah.
And you bought a new Blazer, didn't you?
Well, I have my Trailblazer now.
Trailblazer.
But it's not the same. But yeah, it's the same thing as that. Like I always had like old cheap ass acoustic guitars with like super high action. So then you get on any electric,
a nice
and it's
one.
Like, wow, yeah, this is so easy to maneuver. I still like to play like pretty much what I play if it's not the electric is I always just go on Facebook, and back in the day I used to go on Craigslist and go on Facebook Marketplace and find classical guitars that people are selling for like $20.
Yeah.
And I fucking love the
classicals are always cheap too for some reason.
Yeah.
And like there's weird brands like that sold for like $100 back in the day, you know. Randy's got one, and now they're worth like a lot more money because the sound is so rich and like good. Solid. Yeah,
and especially for like when you record it. I've been getting into like recording at my house now since I'm just sitting there most of the time.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, this sounds better than like my nicer acoustic
like Taylor's and Martin's.
Yeah, it's like once it's recorded, it sounds full. That's what it was. It sounds bassy.
And so Randy still records on that same acoustic. That was like his mom's $20 guitar, and it's a Carlos brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so rich. Yeah. I love it.
And so that's what we went off of Ignition. I don't know how many people even know that now that you play guitar, but
not a lot.
Like I said, those were fun times.
It's weird because like I dove real headfirst into the music scene, like metal and hardcore and punk and stuff. And all my friends were in bands, and all of them were like exceptional. Like Tanner's an exceptional musician, you know.
What was that dude that played guitar in Adelaide also?
Sheldon or Robert.
Sheldon was good too. Robert, I always thought Robert was.
Yeah, Robert
was one of those pedal masters.
Yeah.
He sit there and it's a whole other.
I liked watching him play actually.
He would do the song. They had the one song where it was like those really high notes just back and forth.
Yep.
And then he would do the repeat thing with his pedal, and then he could do other shit. I was like, that's just fucking badass. It's a lot of concentration. That's like playing an organ.
One of the one of the things that band struggled with was like looking like they were into their music. Randy's always good at that, but Sheldon, the guitarist, was terrible at it.
Because they have to be so concentrated. All their stuff was really
like kind of technical.
Yeah.
But Robert, you could just watch him fall into the music as he was playing it. I always loved watching Robert. He was good.
And Randy looks like he's into the music even when he's not playing.
Yeah, literally.
He's like, he's freaking out.
That's so true. Oh, yeah, I don't know. So I got way into the hardcore scene. All my friends are musicians, and I don't think most of them know that I ever played guitar or anything. You know, I guess it just kind of fell off for me.
And you did okay on drums too.
Yeah, I have a drum set still. I never set it up. It needs cymbals. My
drum set's still in the garage also.
And
the cymbals. Remember we got those cymbals from some FedEx guy?
Oh yeah,
for like $9. I still have those. They're all just sitting there.
Dude, we met him at like a Subway. South
like looking back, it was sketchy. I think he just stole them off the truck.
He pulled them out of the FedEx boxes.
It was like $9, and I still have them.
It's like I just need enough to get a 12-inch sub.
And remember that with Ignition, that's how I started into music. Like I always wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I told Randy that I had a guitar, but I didn't know how to play.
Right.
And then he was like, "Well, I heard you playing drums in the band room the other night." I was playing like a real easy break beat.
Yeah.
And so he thought I knew how to play drums.
You're like, yeah, I do, but I prefer singing.
And I showed up and I didn't know how to play anything. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll sing. Let me read this. Let me read your mom's poetry book, and we'll have it.
Fucking mom, dude, was nuts.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jesus Christ, I always felt bad for him.
Me too.
But how old are we at here? Yeah, we're about that. You know what? Like I said, this is only episode 3 of this podcast. But I'm already like trying to format it. Last time my friend Jesse was here, and we were talking about like when you die and shit, and we were talking about how I didn't go to his wedding, I think, because I was at a gig. But I went to your wedding. I was your best man. That was a fun time.
Yep, that was a blast.
And remember, we went to your bachelor party. It was like little kids shit that we did.
Yeah,
because you guys are all straight edge. So
yeah,
we couldn't go out drinking.
Drinking
and getting hookers.
We went like painless paintballing.
Yeah, and then we went to the go-karts. That's what I remember the most.
Go-karts,
because a bunch of like smelly old hardcore dudes and punk rock dudes were all on the track, and we kept slamming into each other. And then we thought it was just us on the track, and then we like 4 of us slammed this one go-kart, and we looked back to see what it was, and it was this little girl, this little 10-year-old. She was like, ah.
And the only reason that dude didn't kick us out is because Arnie tattooed that guy. So he'd let us in like after hours, and because those are like adjustable from the main board, so you can turn them up, and they have league racing and stuff.
I always wondered that because I was like, because I've done go-karting since, and I was like, how come it was so much fun that one time? Dude. Like we were straight up,
because we were flying
ass and falling into each other. Ryan Lilly worked there, remember?
Oh yeah.
And we kept flying off, and he would have to go and like push us back onto the track and shit.
I forgot about Ryan Lilly too.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. But, see, it was kiddie shit, but we had fun.
It was. I think it was better. I think it was more fun than like, I don't really like strippers. The thing is, I never had a whole lot of money, so it's like if I'm gonna give a chick like money to get naked, like I might as well just go to a prostitute at that point. Like,
I just pay the extra $10.
Like I'm just gonna spend my money and then go home with a boner. Like let me use $10 more and let's just get it over with.
I agree wholeheartedly. I was never into strip clubs.
Yeah, I went to a party with a stripper once, and it was the most awkward shit. And everybody's just laughing at you while you're sitting there. And
it's like what do you do? Do you be serious about it, or do you laugh in this bitch's face,
or do you get super creepy and like,
that's what I don't. What do I do with my hands? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then she's like, for $10 you can put whipped cream on my titties, and I was like, I don't have $10.
Yeah, and I don't like whipped cream either.
Whipped cream, like, can you imagine how sticky your hands are?
Yeah, that's gross.
And then I was wearing
a hat without the whipped cream,
and like that hat was completely ruined afterwards. She like rubbed it on her crotch, and then it was like. Then it had like glitter and crabs and everything.
And smelled like Red Bull and Smarties.
Yeah, that part was I didn't know if that was because of me, because I'm always on the Red Bull and Smarties. But yeah, ever since then, that was when I was like 19, and I'm like, strippers aren't that.
Yeah, I never had been to like a party with a stripper, but I've been to strip clubs. We used to hang out at the Torch all the time in Boise.
Yeah,
but we didn't go to like the table. You know what I mean? We sat in the back. Okay. But my friend was like a regular there. We'd never pay to get in. And when the strippers would walk by, he would pull a $10 out of their G-string and then order drinks and pay him with that $10.
It's fucked up, but also she probably never noticed.
But no, you know what we used to do is because this one dude owned a bunch of strip clubs in Boise, like the Torch 2, all this stuff, and we would clean them up. So they'd have Boise State frat boys would go in there and hassle the girls, and they'd like take over a club. So me and my friends would all go in there, and we'd like drag them out into alleys and fight them. And like push them away from there, you know, so they quit going there. But then they'd go to a different strip club. So then that was the regular spot that we would go to until we could run the frat boys out. Yeah.
That's how you have to take over places. That's what I did with Applebee's when I was like 25.
Yeah, right.
So I had to start bringing more and more people until pretty much we were taking up half the restaurant.
And then dragging people out into the alley and fucking murdering them.
Which was fine, you know. I mean,
the good old days.
It was a different time.
Yeah, different time.
You know, if our parents can say racist shit, well, then we could just talk about murder.
I agree.
It's a generational thing.
Yeah, it's an Ice Cube thing.
Yeah,
that's where I learned it.
But what were we saying before? The hookers, the strippers. Oh, I was gonna tell you my strip club story. Same thing, because I didn't really like it. But you remember Brian Hernandez? Marcella's brother. And I don't know, you knew Jordan. He used to always do the shows over at the Wax House.
Oh yeah,
a punk rock kid, and we all worked late at the Center Partners, and so we'd get off like at 11. And so Jordan and I wanted to like go out and have a beer, And Brian didn't drink back then. And so we're like, Brian, come on, man. Like, drive us around. Fuck it. And he's like, no, that's stupid. And I hate the bar. It smells like cigarettes. That was back when you could smoke in bars.
Oh, yeah.
But I knew the one thing that Brian does like is like in women.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, Brian, we'll take my car, my gas, and you drive us all the way to fucking Pocatello. We'll go to Club 91. That way, like, Jordan and I can sit around having a few beers and you can look at the chicks.
Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah, I'm down. So we go all the way to fucking Pocatello, and we get there. It was a Friday night, so I got plenty of money on me. And he's like, dude, I didn't have time to go to the bank, and all I have is these. Because he wouldn't get up to the table. That's what reminded me. It was I was like, are you not going to go up to the table? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's what you came for. You're not going to get a drink. And he's like, well, I didn't get a chance to go to the bank. He's like, but all I have are these George Washington and Sacagawea dollars, like these coins. He's like, they're dollars, but they're coins. And I was like, you know what, motherfucker, that's enough to get me up to that table with you. So we go and sit down, and the chick's dancing on the pole, and she's like crawling over to us all sexy and shit. Yeah. And her titties all popping out and everything. And he puts down his fucking stack of coins on the counter.
I would have paid to see that.
It was awesome. And she looks at it like all puzzled, and she looks at him and she's like, are those fucking quarters?
How am I going to pick those up with my labia?
And he's like, no, they're dollars. And he's like trying to like put them in the light so she can see that they're Sacagawea coins. And she looks at him and she like verifying them. And she's like, okay, I'll accept it because, yeah, these are dollars. She's like, okay, that's fine. She's like, but let me tell you, there's nothing more insulting as a stripper, as a dancer, than to get quarters. And you don't know how much it hurts when quarters hit your titties. So she's had that happen to her before. People just flicking quarters at her.
Pocatello, I'm not surprised. She had to call her meth dealer and ask if he'll take Sacagawea dollars.
And that was the best. That was the most fun I've ever had at Club 91.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And I think I ended up giving him some. Like I said, I had cash on me, so I was like, here you go, Brian, for your troubles.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, the money I've spent on stupid shit like that with my friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, where did I get that kind of money?
No kidding. That's what we used to say about Tanner. Is like, Tanner never had money, never had a job. He'd quit jobs so we could go to hardcore shows because he always had shitty jobs where he had to work weekends and stuff. Yeah. When we'd be like, hey man, the Warriors are playing in Boise this week, he's like, I gotta work. I'm like, no, it's cool. No, fuck it, I'll quit. So we'd go see the Warriors. You didn't really pressure him either. Yeah, no, we were like, no, yes, stay and work. So he never really had money, which was fine. We paid for everything he did. Mm-hmm. But Tanner's so goddamn funny. So it was like you were paying for his comedic value and as a friend, you know.
Yeah, it's like it was worth it.
Exactly. I love it.
I like him. I run into him every once in a while.
Tanner's a good dude.
And he's a really good musician.
Yeah, he's really good.
Way into like all this more progressive shit.
Yeah, getting way into it. He's got a band. I don't know what it's called now, actually. It was Red Rocks for a little bit, and it's like the ode to his daughter who passed away a couple years back. And I think he changed the name now because there was another band with Red Rocks, but it's really good. No vocals or anything, just music, and it's really heavy and really good.
Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff, and I've had conversations with him about that, about his daughter and stuff. It's just, hey, you just hate to see shit like good people.
Mm-hmm, the best people. Like that, Tanner to give the shirt off his back if you needed it.
Yeah, or to smell like fucking armpit.
Yeah, we used to have to. Me and my friend Rod used to have to trick him into showering, because Rod was dating Veronica at the time. Yeah, Veronica worked at a hair salon, so she'd always have these cool shampoos and shit. Like, hey Tanner, you should go check out the shampoo that Veronica brought home, dude. It makes your scalp feel all tingly. Oh, cool. And you go and shower, and then 3 days it would go by, 4 days. We'd be like, hey Tanner, you should go try this new shampoo that Veronica brought.
Just get him. That's like what you do with little kids. I do that shit.
Yeah, we gotta trick him.
Like I get my oldest daughter bath bombs. That's the only way she'll take a fucking bath sometimes. Like, look at this one. It has a dinosaur inside of it.
And there's not a dinosaur. It just keeps dissolving and she keeps eating. No, Tanner's one of the best.
He is. But the whole point of all that was, a bunch of us were your wedding party. What are you, like, groomsmen?
Yeah, groomsmen.
So a group picking groomsmen is, I don't know, some people might think it's easier. Some people might think it's a difficult
It is
process.
hard.
Yeah, because you don't want to leave anyone out, but you don't want to, like, include everybody.
Yeah, and I included everybody.
Yeah.
We had like 8 groomsmen.
I mean, just off the top of my head, it was Dano, Lucio, Artie, Fucking Randy, me.
Dylan. Oh, fuck. I know I'm forgetting somebody because I want to say there's 7.
There's someone I forget. Was Tanner there or not?
No.
There's one. I'm like that's the one. I feel bad for that one person.
I know. I feel terrible now.
But the point of all that is though, what like I mean, obviously you're not going to be around to see it, but pallbearers. That's what I'm ending this show with.
Oh,
that's what I'm ending this
cradle the
this
grave today,
with. With and I did it. I asked my friend this question on a second episode, so I'm like, I'm just going to end all the episodes like this now.
Yeah.
Choose who you're going to be your pallbearers.
How many pallbearers are there?
I think 6, isn't there? 3 on each side.
Okay, I'll go with that. Oof. I'd probably choose like 6. Like I've got an older brother.
Yeah.
Curtis would probably be one of them. Other than that, they'd all be probably friends.
What about your younger brother?
Would
he drop you?
Yeah, I don't trust him. Kind of an asshole. I don't know. That's hard. That's really hard for me. Probably my oldest friends, right? So it would be you, Randy, my brother, my older brother. That's all the friends I got. So. You guys probably have to have like a push cart or something.
Maybe when you die, your kids, your son.
I thought about that, but do kids usually do pallbearing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he won't be a kid anymore by the time you die.
Well, I mean, like because they're like honorary pallbearers.
Oh, what's that mean? I always see that on
because they're not picking up any of the weight
on the invitation. Are they called invitations on the funeral announcements?
By invite only.
Where they list everything.
Yeah, the like honorary pallbearers.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means actually. I don't know. I'd come up with some. I guess it depended on the point in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So if I died tomorrow, for sure you, for sure Randy, probably Tanner, honestly.
Yeah.
My brother Curtis, my friend Quentin, and
I feel like Randy and I would have to be either on the front or the back because we're shorter than everybody else.
And separate sides because you guys are
that's
not getting along.
Well,
I mean, corner to corner, maybe.
Well, that's not going to work. That's what I'm saying. We're both shorter than everybody else you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Middle.
You're going to be front and back and side to side
it's like a 30-degree angle.
You're going to slip out.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's like this nice dude with no legs that he begs for money at the corner of...
He's going to be your pallbearer?
Hit and Eagle, yeah. He's nice. He waves at me all the time.
How's he going to
as I drive by in my Mercedes.
That's the worst.
He's got fake legs.
That's the worst.
I get him.
Oh, he has fake legs?
Yeah, he's got...
Like the big springy ones?
No, not that cool. Regular old, like... Even the fake tennis shoes on his fake legs are real beat up. And
why did you just paint them on at that point? We need to... See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of humor we had back in high school, was just making morbid.
Yeah, I think. Real dark. And no one was safe.
And we would make fun of your brother even.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, that just goes to show you how off limits it was. I wouldn't make fun of him, actually. I would just bait you so that you would make fun of your brother. That was really fucked up. And then I'd always be like, yeah, you're fucked up, man.
No, when it comes to comedy, nobody's safe.
That's the way I feel about it.
Separate yourself from everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're a hater or anything. But
yeah. And like we said before, we made fun of everybody equally.
Yeah.
And that's what made it okay, I feel like.
And so that's the last thing. And I didn't write it down, and now we're going long. But yeah, you said your car, you're taking pictures of cars?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yeah, I do automotive photography.
That's badass.
Yeah, just on the side. Just like in the evenings and stuff.
Hell yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
Take a picture of my car.
I will.
I'm just kidding. My car's a piece of shit.
We'll Photoshop it into something else.
Remember my the car I had in high school?
Corsica.
We put the NOS stickers on. Yeah. I would print off my own NOS stickers and put them on the side. And people believe. Right. I thought it was just a funny gag, but people would start asking us about it. Like,
that car was super rad, by the way. And that honestly made me for a long time want a Chevy Corsica. Because that car fucking ran.
The thing is, they have these big engines and this tiny body, so they called ass.
Yeah, I remember when it was slick and you went through a stop sign into a ditch almost.
Yeah.
Or maybe not almost.
I think it did. I think we had to like pull it out. But the thing is, it had the balls to pull itself out.
Yeah, yeah. And then we drove it the next day to school.
Yeah, we had all sorts of adventures.
That was good. I still see him whenever I see Corsicas on the road. I always have to tell my kids. I never drove one, but Rodrigo did. And that's what I drove to school in every day.
That car was badass.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll link that up so people can go see your pictures, but on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Okay, is that where I see them?
Yeah. Or Facebook. You probably see them on Facebook.
I think I see them on Facebook.
Yeah, I forget about Instagram.
Really? See, I don't get off of Instagram. That's where I live these days.
So I surf Instagram all the time more than Facebook. I'm a Facebook Marketplace whore.
Me too.
Oh man,
I hate it.
I get in there.
There was one of these machines there for only like $80. I was like, and I was like, I have one.
Yeah,
like,
that's me and wheels for cars.
Yeah.
My wife's like, why is there like 3 more sets of wheels in the garage? I don't even know how those got there. I need to get a storage unit for my own shit, but. Yeah. So, but no, most of the time I do surf Instagram because I like Facebook has a lot of opinions on it. I give a fuck about anybody's opinion.
Yeah.
I'd rather see pictures. So, but when I post for some reason, it's always Facebook.
Really, I've migrated pretty much everything to Instagram, and I don't really do TikTok. Like everybody's like, oh, you need to be on TikTok. I was like, I go and I post my TikTok for the podcast, and I get right off.
Yeah. I know.
I don't stick around.
I don't even think I have an account.
Yeah, maybe not, but.
I need to get an account just so I can watch Scarface's TikToks.
Yeah.
About his weenie.
I don't even know if that's a callback. I think we were talking about his wiener before we started recording. Yeah. But shout out to Scarface and his wiener podcast. Shit. But I think that's it. I mean, I guess that's it. Unless there's one last thing you want to say.
No, I got nothing.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
And go check out his photography. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
There you go. There's that music again. I bought a drum machine, but yeah, which is what I made to speak with.
That's dope.
Then we'll fade it out. Now, if you talk, you have to talk slow.